Hi everybody and welcome back to the Duggan Daily Dish. I'm Jamie Duggan and this is my kitchen. If you watched my episode last night, you'll realize that I am in the same outfit. Guess what, guys? This is because I'm recording it on the same night because we need to marinate this steak for 24 hours. So while my dinner is in the oven, I'm going to get started on the next night's dinner. And tomorrow night, whatever night you're watching this episode, we are making red wine marinated flank steak with a cherry tomato and mozzarella cheese caprese salad on top. And it is absolutely phenomenal. And this is, again, a super, super duper easy recipe to make. You make it in the broiler. So again, this is going to be a short video. So let's get started on this. Okay, so the first step that you need to do is you're going to take 1.5 cups of red wine. You can use any of your favorite red wine, cooking wine, regular wine, have a glass of wine with it. I actually use what is Holland. It's called Holland red wine, and it's a cooking wine, and you can get it in the regular grocery store. Just because if I want wine, I'm going to drink wine. I'm not going to use it for cooking. So I don't use special wine in my cooking. If you do, great for you. I don't do it myself. So we're taking 1.5 cups of dry red wine, and to that we are going to add a half a cup of olive oil. Okay, it's right in there. And then to that, you are going to add 4 garlic cloves, or as everybody knows, Jamie's cheat, the squeezed garlic. Okay. And then you are going to add a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper. And of course, we eyeball that. I'm not a big salt person, so. Did I get that on camera? I guess I did, yes. I struggle with the pepper container sometimes. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to stir this all together. Okay. And then next what you're going to do is you are going to take your flank steak, and this is about a 2-pounder. It's a little bit less because I couldn't get 2 pounds at my grocery store, but you should have about 2 pounds of flank steak. And you can either put it in a glass dish, or you can put it in a Ziploc bag. I sometimes find it easier to put it in a Ziploc bag. That way it's easier to turn, because you want to turn this a couple of times through 24 hours. So what I usually do is I'll make this around dinner time. I'll prep it the night before, and I will flip it before I go to bed, and then I'll flip it when I get up in the morning, and then I'll flip it again when I get home, right before I stick it in the broiler. So you're going to go ahead and add your flank steak to a Ziploc bag, or like I said, to a dish, just because it's easier to flip in a Ziploc bag. I've done it in both. Makes no difference. Okay, so then all you're going to do is you are going to add that mixture we just put together. You're going to pour it right into the Ziploc bag. Make sure that puppy is well and covered up. And then you're going to seal this. Make sure that you use a good, if you're going to use a bag, make sure you use a good Ziploc bag. I've used the cheap kind before, and I've gotten my refrigerator a mess. Now that it's sealed, what you're going to do is you're going to stick it in the fridge for 24 hours, flipping it every so often. Like I said, I usually flip it right before I go to bed, right before I get up in the morning, and right before I put it in the oven or under the broiler. So that's what you have to do, and I'll see you tomorrow to finish it off. Okay, everyone, so the steak has been marinating about 24 hours, a little bit more than 24 hours actually. So what we're going to do is we're going to, in this super simple, like I said, an easy recipe, after you marinate it for at least between 2 to 24 hours, it depends on how much you want that marinade on your steak, you're going to just put your oven on broil, let it get up to a high broil, and you're going to put a pan underneath where you're going to put the steak. And you're going to put the steak actually right on the rack. So you don't want to put this on anything because otherwise it's not going to cook evenly. So all you have to do is stick that in the oven. And this depends on how rare, medium rare, full you want your steak cooked. Usually I've learned this recipe before told me it made medium rare. If you broil it for 6 minutes, flip it over and broil it for 5 more minutes. I've realized that either that's a lie or my broiler is not as great as I think it is. Because once I pull it out after about 11 minutes, it's pretty rare. Now, my husband will eat that because that's the way he likes his steak, but I like mine a little bit cooked more. So what I end up doing is I usually end up putting it on for about 8 minutes on either side. So 8 minutes, and actually I do 9 minutes the first side and 8 minutes the second side, because the second side is a little bit less cooked, because you don't want to dry out your meat. So that's all you have to do. Like I said, I'm not going to really videotape much of this. So you're going to broil it, and like I said, depends on how much you want your steak cooked. I like mine medium rare, and that usually takes about 8 or 9 minutes on one side and 8 or 9 minutes on the other side. So go ahead and attempt what you want. If you want medium rare, I would suggest 8 to 9 minutes on the other side. So what we're going to do as we broil that is we're going to make the dressing that's going to go on top, and that's the tomato mozzarella caprese salad. So let me get this in the broiler, and I'll be back to show you how to put the salad together. Okay, so while my steak's been cooking, we're on the second side now. I've cut up a whole pint of cherry tomatoes, and you either quarter them or half them, depending on what size you like. I can't find shallots at all in my store, so I took and got 3 green onions. And then it says 2 fresh mozzarella balls, about a half a cup chopped into pieces. And it's easier for me just to buy the mozzarella sticks, and I take 3, chop them up into small pieces, and that's what you get. Okay, so to this we're going to add some basil leaves, and it takes about 10, and this is the powdered stuff, so just eyeball it. How about that? Okay, just cut me out. You don't need to see me, right? So you're just going to sprinkle that in there. Good. Teaspoon of balsamic vinegar. Here we go. I'm using a half a teaspoon. There's 1 half. And a teaspoon. Okay, and then we are going to put in a half a teaspoon of olive oil. A little bit more, whatever you like. Came out fast. And then we're going to use 1/8 of a teaspoon of garlic salt. I, however, will eyeball the garlic salt because I kind of like it, even though it is probably not great for you. So I just eyeball it. Don't want to put too much in there, but probably put a little bit more than me. Okay, and then you're going to put in a pinch of pepper. And a pinch is what you want it to be. The sprinkle side, just So now you're going to stir this around and you're going to stick it in the fridge until your steak is done. Okay, so my steak is done and you're going to want to let it rest about 10 minutes. Okay, so we have the steak and it's done. And I'm trying to get this so you can see. It's really hard to do on my computer. If you can see how beautiful this turned out, just enough pink in the middle. Hopefully it's not too overcooked for my husband since he likes it rare. And then all you're going to do is you're going to top your mozzarella cheese and tomato slices right on top. Isn't that just beautiful? With the cheese and the tomatoes on top, gorgeous. Enjoy.